Jashodanandana Brajajanaranyana Jana Jamuna Tiravanachari Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jashodanandana Brajajanaranyana Jana Jashodanandana Brajajanaranyana Jamnati Ravanachari Jamnati Ravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Janavallabha Girivaradhari Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So this morning we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, verses number 7 to 14. So what I'll do is that read the translation from 7 to 14, and then I'll go through back to verse number 7, and we'll do the Sanskrit together, okay? Responsibly. So volunteers, one verse at a time, if you can read from 7 to up to 14.
Uddhava said, "My dear Vidura, the sun of the world, Lord Krishna, has set, and our house has now been swallowed by the great snake of time. What can I say to you about our welfare?
This universe with all its planets is most unfortunate, and even more unfortunate are the members of the Yadu dynasty, because they could not identify Lord Hari. They could not identify Lord Hari as the personality of Godhead, any more than the fish could identify the
The others were all experienced devotees, learned and expert in psychic study. Over and above this, they were always with the Lord in all kinds of relaxations, and still they were only able to know Him as the one supreme who works everything.
Under no circumstances can the words of persons bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls.
Lord Sri Krishna, who manifested his eternal form before the vision of all on the earth, performed his disappearance by removing his from the sight of those who were unable to see him as he is, you were not executing required penance.
The Lord appeared in the mortal world by his internal potency, Yogamaya. He came in his eternal form, which is just suitable for his pastimes. These pastimes were wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself in his form as the Lord of Vaikuntha. Thus his, Sri Krishna's transcendental body is the ornament of all ornaments.
All the demigods from the upper, lower, and middle universal planetary systems assembled at the altar of the Rajasuya sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhishthira. After seeing the beautiful bodily features of Lord Krishna, they all contemplated that he was the ultimate dexterous creation of Brahma, the creator of human beings.
The damsels of Vraj, after pastimes of laughter, humor, and exchanges of glances, were anguished when Krishna left them. They used to follow him with their eyes, and thus they sat down with stunned intelligence, could not finish their household duties.
Thank you. So now we can go on verse number 7. Chant. Uddhava vacha Krishna duimani nimloche Girneshva jagarenaha Kim nuna kushalam bruyam Gatashishu griheshvaham. Please chant. Uddhavacha Kim nuna kushalam bruyam Gatashishu griheshvaham. Uddhava vacha Krishna dvimani nimloche Girneshvaja karenaha Kim nuna kushalam bruyam Katashishu griheshvaham. Uddhava vacha Kim nuna kushalam bruyam Gatashishu griheshvaham. Anyone else? Uddhava vacha Krishna dvimani nimloche Girneshva jagarenaha Kim nuna kushalam bruyam Gatashishu griheshvaham. Thank you. Synonyms. Uddhava uvacha. Shri Uddhava said, Krishna duimani. Having said, Girneshu, being swallowed, Ajagarena, great snake, ha, in the past, Kim, what, nu, else, na, our, Kushalam, welfare, Bruyam, may I say, Gata Shishu, with good fortune, the house, Aham, I. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Uddhava said, My dear Vidura, the sun of the world, Lord Krishna, has set, and our house has now been swallowed by the great snake of time. What can I say? What can I say to you about our welfare? Purport. The disappearance of the Krishna sun may be explained as follows, according to the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vidura was struck with great sorrow when he caught the hint of the annihilation of the great Yadu dynasty, as well as of his own family, the Kuru dynasty. Uddhava could understand the grief of Vidura, and therefore he first of all wanted to sympathize with him by saying that after the sunset, everyone is in darkness. Since the entire world was merged in the darkness of grief, neither Vidura nor Uddhava nor anyone else could be happy. Uddhava was as much aggrieved as Vidura, and there was nothing further to be said about their welfare. The comparison of Krishna to the sun is very appropriate. As soon as the sun sets, darkness automatically appears. But the darkness experienced by the common man does not affect the sun itself, either at the time of sunrise or of sunset. Lord Krishna's appearance and disappearance are exactly like that of the sun. He appears and disappears in innumerable universes, and as long as he is present in a particular universe, there is all transcendental light in that universe. But the universe from which he passes away is put into darkness. His pastimes, however, are everlasting. The Lord is always present in some universe, just as the sun is present in either the eastern or the western hemisphere. The sun is always present either in India or in America. But when the sun is present in India, the American land is in darkness. And when the sun is present in America, the Indian hemisphere is in darkness. As the sun appears in the morning and gradually rises to the meridian and then again sets in one hemisphere, while simultaneously rising in the other, so Lord Krishna's disappearance in one universe and the beginning of his different pastimes in another take place simultaneously. As soon as one pastime is finished here, it is manifested in another universe. And thus his Nitya Leela, or eternal pastimes, are going on without ending. As the sunrise takes place once in 24 hours, similarly the pastimes of Lord Krishna take place in the universe once in a daytime of Brahma, the account of which is given in the Bhagavad Gita as 4,300,000,000 years, solar years. But wherever the Lord is present, all his different pastimes, as described in the revealed scriptures, take place at regular intervals. As at the sunset, the snakes become powerful, thieves are encouraged, ghost becomes active, the lotus becomes disfigured, and the Chakravaki laments, so with the disappearance of Lord Krishna, the atheists feel enlightened and the devotees become sorry. I just remember that I hadn't offered flowers to Srila Prabhupada, so I'm just going to do that. So here, Krishna is being compared to the sun, yeah? And sun setting means darkness. Prabhupada writes in the very last sentence, or last, is it the last sentence? No. The comparison of Krishna to the sun is very appropriate. Actually, this is in the start, he writes there. start of the second paragraph. The comparison of Krishna to the sun is very appropriate. As soon as the sun sets, darkness automatically appears. So the subject matter is initially darkness, because for to actually appreciate light, you need to feel, or you need to know what is darkness. Yeah. Just maybe it was last week or 2 weeks ago. We live in Alachua, and so it's a very rural place. There's no street lights there, and we live on a dirt road. Anyway, so the lights went off all of a sudden in the house, and I have my grandson, 2-year-old. The family is staying with us right now. So all of a sudden, the lights went off, and it was pitch dark. And I mean pitch dark. You can see your hand in front of you. It gets dark. And the kid, Gorda, started screaming. And you can imagine what it is for a 2-year-old. What do you think he's thinking? Yeah. Or they actually think, when you play hide and like close your eyes, they think they're not there anymore. They think they don't. So to him, it was like he was all alone and nobody was there. And that was just a few seconds before my daughter Shamadarshini went in the dark, through the sound. She knew where he would be, or got him. But for him, there was nobody. He was just there on his own. So darkness can be very scary. I thought maybe, I was thinking, can I make this place dark? Turn off all the lights for all of you to experience darkness. But I thought maybe that won't be possible. But I wanted to have maybe 15, 20 seconds experiential learning about darkness. So those who have glasses, take them out. And what are they called? The heels of the palm? Just this portion of the palm. If you could, all of you could close your eyes with the heel. In other words, experience complete darkness. Complete darkness. You too, Acharya Prabhu? Yes, no one is, you have to experience darkness. And so imagine yourself in deep, dark forest in the middle of the night. And this forest is inhabited by wild animals. Now you can open your eyes. Well, somebody got into coughing with that. Anybody would like to express what those who really entered in the mood would like to express what was the feeling? Sorry?
Like really scared because
like if you can't even see anything, not even like the moonlight, that's like the most scary thing.
Yes.
And your heart can like be pounding really fast.
Yes, your heart is pounding very fast. Exactly. And then you're hearing the sound vibration. Just the fact that even if you didn't hear any sound, even if you were in a very dark place, literally where you can't see your hand, but you're in an open, if you're in the house and you're dark, you kind of feeling a little scared, but not really. You're just kind of feeling a little something. But if you're in an open space, and you can't see anything, then you don't know what would happen. Then what to speak about added sound vibration, that which is just not sound vibration. You know, it's not just sound vibration. It is, this is it. I like what Adi Shankar said. This is it. You know, you're just like, okay, I'm done. I'm finished. So that's darkness. Any other thoughts, feelings? Yes, Advaita Prabhu.
I was thinking how insignificant and tiny my presence was in facing the great world of jungle or unknown in absolute darkness, and just unsafe, insignificant, full of fear. And I was also thinking before, actually, people would find themselves in that kind of situation. You know, before the electricity was, you know, quite, the world was quite darker. With the sunset, that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, you know, strike your little match or whatever, but it's quite dark.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
For me, I had a moment where I returned to a time where I actually had that experience.
Oh, would you like to say something more about it?
Everybody, the way that they describe like the feelings of being in that, it's just, yeah, it's all encompassing, and you're just kind of like in survival mode, basically, and trying to find a way to get out. That's the main thing. Trying to find a way to get out, and you're not really sure which direction to go into. It does not, you know very clearly it is not your natural habitat.
Yes, please, go ahead. Your name? Yeah. Yes, go ahead, Ria.
So I wanted to share something like a comment. So like for me, I am deaf and I wear like hearing devices. So like if I were to like go in someplace dark, I usually like turn them off so I don't hear any sound. So I can't tell if like sound will make it scarier or no sound like scarier. If there's just complete darkness, I prefer no sound. It's like that way I can just focus on what I see. And but yeah, I've been like scared in that place before.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
I just want to share one of the experience which regarding the darkness aspect which you was mentioning. Back, I was in India in one of the farms I was living. So generally there, it's like a big land area with a small hut in between, and they don't have any street lights.
Yes.
And the only
Sounds like a lachwa. Anyway.
and the only light which you have is in the hut. And that too, they are very careful about preserving electricity.
Yes.
So generally after 6:37, the sun is out and you can't see anything practically. So it's a feeling of very insecure, and in between goods, it's insecurity around you, and you just try to find a place, even a little place where you can go. That's the hut.
Exactly. Yeah, some shelter. Thank you. So we see that here we're hearing about Krishna disappearing, and how Vidura and Uddhava are communicating, are expressing. Now, in Canto 1, you must have studied when at a certain stage we hear, I forget what chapter, 15, 16, somewhere there, Arjun had gone to see Krishna in Dwarka, and Yudhishthira was back in Hastinapur, And Arjun hadn't come back for some time. It describes it was 7 months. Arjun used to go quite often because they were his close friendship with Krishna. He would go many times to see Krishna in Dwarka. But it was 7 months, and Krishna and Arjun hadn't come back. And Yudhishthira Maharaj started kind of worrying. But why he was worrying more so is because he started seeing different omens, inauspicious omens around him that made him think that what's happening? Some of the omens described there was direction of eternal time had changed. And this was very fearful. Sutta Goswami describes it was very fearful. And there were disruptions in the seasonal regularities. Are we kind of experiencing that nowadays? Yeah. Especially this year in Florida, things have been like really cold, and cold. And it usually happens cold and fine, and then cold and, but this year it seems like really bad. But, we all know about the ozone layer and all that, so seasonal, it was not a norm thing. And Yudhishthira was seeing that how things were changing. Another thing that he was noticing is that people were becoming very greedy, angry, and deceitful. He was seeing that friends were cheating with each other. And there was a lot of tension in the family members, within the family members. But then it says that not only that, even between the husband and wife, there was quarrel. Even between? Isn't that a norm thing? But even between husband and wife, there was always strain and quarrel. So he was seeing these different things. And then he thought, because Narad Muni had mentioned to Yudhishthira Maharaj that Krishna may be leaving. So he started thinking, is it maybe Krishna is leaving us? Is that possible? Is that time that has already arrived? That Krishna is going to leave the planet? I mean, if you were in Yudhishthira's shoes, what would you feel? You'd feel any emotions, one word emotions coming out of any of you? Desperation. Yes, desperation. What else? Separation. Wow, good. Any other one? This is it. This is it. I like that. As it is, and now this is it. This is it. Yeah, this is it. Bewildered. Yeah, bewildered. Sad. Sad. Concern? Yes, Ria?
Depressing.
Depressing. Depressing. Yeah, depressing. We know Yudhishthira Maharaj went through some real heavy depression. So yes, depressing. So a lot of emotions are coming. You can see Yudhishthira Maharaj must be feeling all of those emotions. Can you imagine all those emotions are in a person? Because it's not just somebody leaving. This is Krishna leaving. And Krishna leaving means, because it's somebody leaving, there might be certain emotions, but this is going to affect everything, the whole world, not just him. So he's feeling, wow, he's in a very a sorrowful situation. And then he sees other things. He's seeing other inauspicious things. In the scriptures, there are all kinds of scriptures that are given in the Vedas. There's also scriptures about what are auspicious omens and what are inauspicious omens. So when a man's left side of the body quivers, that's inauspicious. And when the right side of the body quivers, is for a woman, that's inauspicious. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was seeing that his left side of his body was quivering, and he was having heart palpitation due to fear. The fear, nobody mentioned fear, I thought, except Adi Shyam in his This Is It. That he was having heart palpitations. Have you ever had heart palpitations? Yeah, your heart is pumping, it's fast. So he is experiencing, he hasn't even heard, he hasn't even heard what had happened. Just seeing everything, he's feeling it's going to happen. It might be happening. You call that an anticipation anxiety? So he was having an anticipation anxiety that Krishna might be leaving. And his heart was palpitating. And there were so many other things that it describes, all the different omens here. And I'll read this one here. The shrieks of the owls and their rival crows make my heart tremble. This is Yudhishthira Maharaj expressing. I was thinking you heard the shrieks of the owls when I had this sound. There were owls there shrieking. And so as he was going through that, all of a sudden, Arjuna comes there. And Arjuna, as you know, he's a warrior. He's a strong man. He has killed so many people. He was such a strong warrior. But when he came in front of Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was dejected. He paid his obeisances to Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he started crying. Tears were gliding from his ears onto his cheeks, and he couldn't speak. He could not speak. And Yudhishthira Maharaj could perceive what has happened, but he asks him all kinds of questions. He asks him, how is so-and-so doing? How's Ugrasena doing? How's Shursena? He's asking about all the other family members, but he doesn't ask about Krishna. After he asks about everybody else, then he asks, how is Krishna doing? And he doesn't get any response from Arjun. Arjun couldn't speak anything. He couldn't say any words. And then after Arjun doesn't say, and he asks about Krishna, then he says, you can see when somebody is fearful or somebody is nervous, so people start saying things. People ask questions. If they don't know what to say, then they will ask so many questions, yeah? Like, this happened? So did you treat somebody improperly? Did you do something? What did you do? So he's asking so many questions to Arjun to find out what happened, knowing from looking at him, from his reaction, that Krishna has disappeared. And then Arjun, finally, he comes out and expresses that how his dearmost friend, Krishna, has disappeared. At that stage, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he decides to do something. He decides that he is going to stop, he's going to move on and not rule the kingdom anymore. And it's time for him to go ahead and give the throne to his grandson, Maharaj Pariksit. And then later on, his brothers also follow suit. So here we understand that there is this very famous saying. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe you would know Advaita Acharya Prabhu. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Andhakar. Wait, okay. Chaitanya Charitamrita, okay. CC, okay. It's just that phrase came into my head, And I wrote it down, but I'm like, okay, where did it come from? There you are. Thank you. Madhya Lila 22:31. So Krishna is like the sun, and Maya is andhakar, is darkness, is ignorance. But Krishna is very kind to us. Krishna is very, very kind to us because Krishna loves us. Krishna doesn't want us to be in the darkness. He doesn't want to be us in the darkness. He loves us. So when he leaves one universe to go to another, like we heard, that Krishna is always performing his pastimes. He's always going from one universe to another, just like the sun. Such a nice example of the sun. We may not see the sun here, but the sun will be in India. That's just how it is. We think the sun is gone. I know Gorodas thinks the sun is gone, but sun is not gone. The sun is just there. We can't see the sun. So similarly, we know that Krishna never leaves us. And when Krishna does leave us from our universe, then he's performing some other pastimes. But Krishna always leaves us with something. Anybody would like to say, what are some of the things that Krishna leaves for us? Yes, Prabhu. Name one thing. The Maha Mantra. That's right. Krishna leaves us the Maha Mantra because Maha Mantra is non-different than Krishna himself. Yes, that's why we feel bliss when we chant Hare Krishna. That's why we come here, and the nicest part about coming here is that people are dancing because they're feeling the joy of the Maha Mantra. That's what it is. When there is the sun, there's feeling of joy. After there's darkness, then if you see the light, then there's joy. Yeah, that's just when you were in that dark forest and you're hearing all those jackals and owls and lions roaring, if somebody came right there with what are those things that come, the forest rangers, they come with their truck, their specialist call. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, they come and they come to rescue you. Yeah. So if driving right there and then you all of a sudden you see some light there, you'll naturally go jump in there. You feel joy. Yeah. As soon as there's light. So yeah, Krishna has left us with the holy name. Yes, Advaita Prabhu. What else? What else has he left us with?
Yeah, Nam, his holy name. Then there's Dham.
Dham. Very nice.
And then there's Kam. his desire.
Oh, his desire. Okay.
Nam, Dham, Kam.
Okay, so Krishna leaves us with the Dham. So we can go to the Dham and experience him. Very nice. And his desire for us, his Kam, for us to chant the Nam and go and visit the Dham. There you are. We can do a rap song with that. Yes, Nitai. He leaves us with the footprints. Yes, he leaves us with the footprints. So we can worship the footprints. We can meditate on Krishna's lotus feet. Yes. Thank you. What else? Yes, Amrita. He leaves us with the Bhagavatam. That's exactly what in the first canto describes different incarnations, and then it describes. I'll read the verse. Krishna swadhamopagate dharma jnana divi saha kalau nashta dishamesha puranarko dhunoditaha. And the translation is, the Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion. Jai Gaurnitai. Just because the curtains are there doesn't mean Gaurnitai are not there. They're there with us. And it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion and knowledge, etc. So when Lord Krishna goes to his abode, can you believe religion and knowledge go with him? But persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So this Bhagavatam that we study every day, it will give us light. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So that's what Krishna has left for us, because we are his children and he wants us to come back to us. He doesn't want us to stay in darkness. Srila Prabhupada in that purport is so funny. He writes, in the Kali Yuga, the population is just a royal addition of the animals. Have you ever heard of that phrase? We're a royal addition of animals. That's what we are. But no, we're not. We're trying to be Vaishnavas. So we're maybe we're in somewhat human species considered now. They said they have nothing to do, in Kali Yuga, they have nothing to do with spiritual knowledge or godly religious life. They're so blind that they cannot see anything beyond the jurisdiction of the subtle mind, intelligence, or ego. But they're very much proud of their advancement in knowledge, science, and material prosperity. And I thought it was very interesting that Srila Prabhupada writes, they don't see anything beyond subtle mind, intelligence, and ego, which is so true, because nowadays spiritual life means, in Kali Yuga, sometimes to them spiritual life means it's about subtle mind and intelligence. That's what it has come down to. Spirituality is about psychology, or it's not God-centered. It has nothing to do with God. So this is our unfortunate position in Kali Yuga, is that we are in darkness. And as Krishna house devotees, our mission is not only to give ourselves light, but to give everybody else this light, because other people are in darkness, or everybody is in this dark jungle, this dark, dense jungle. And all those emotions actually that are there, that we were seeing, that Yudhishthira was feeling, people are feeling that. They're feeling bewildered. They're feeling an anxiety. They're having heart palpitations. Young people are panicking. People are suicidal. They take all kinds of medications of depression. All those things are there. So unless they get some light, just like we are so fortunate that somebody has given us some hope that actually, yes, there is some light. There is a goal that we can achieve. Krishna has given us so many things, so we can ourselves give that to those who are not. I'll finish with this last thing that I just remembered, that we did a college program in Ocala a couple of weeks ago, and this professor always invites us to go there every semester. He really likes the devotees. Anyway, so there were like maybe around 20 students or so. So Akuti, myself, another devotee, we went there. And after Akuti spoke, she spoke about general philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Then I was supposed to speak about the holy name. So I asked them, I wanted to have them understand, for them to understand the importance of sound vibrations. So I was asking them, what do different sound vibrations, how do they affect them, and like that. So, but the first question I asked them that, I said, what did you feel after Akuti spoke? And the first response was, I was surprised with the response. They said, I felt calm. And I was like, wow, I would have never expected that response. She felt calm hearing this philosophy. I mean, Akuti Mata just expressed the philosophy as it is, and she felt very calm. So this is what all of you already are doing that. You have your Tuesday nights, you have your Friday nights, you have your everyday daytime at Krishna lunch out there. So I should say thank you for doing such a nice service for the Gainesville student community here. Anyway, so thank you very much for your kind attention. If anybody has any questions, or yes, really?
One thing you said in the beginning of class, you said to really appreciate light, we need to experience darkness. And I was thinking like, in terms of darkness, I was thinking more like misery, you know, like ignorance, and light is Krishna, like you said, holy name. So, I mean, in the material world, we can appreciate that more if we go through suffering. But I was thinking in the spiritual world, do they really have to experience that darkness? There are souls who are already in the light, and they're always in the light. Is it necessary to go through the darkness to appreciate the light?
Their darkness is of a spiritual level, so to speak. So their darkness is separation from Krishna. So it's not darkness in the sense of ignorance, like we feel, but the darkness they feel is one way they feel darkness is feeling separation for Krishna and all those emotions. Even Yudhishthira Maharaj is feeling all those emotions he's feeling. It's not the material mode of ignorance how we feel, where people are, you know, the modes. We say that somebody's in the modes. So they're not in the modes in the material sense, but they are in their transcendental sense. And just like we heard about Yudhishthira Maharaj feeling that. So that's one thought. Anybody else would like to? Yes, Adi Shamprabhu.
A quick thing. I was thinking if departure of Krishna is setting of the sun, we could compare Kali Yuga to the darkness, but then just the song of Mahatma Prabhu is played in my head is Lord Chaitanya's moon is rising. It's not at all surprising that we're singing in the street.
Yes,
Still
yes.
everyone will meet.
Oh, that's so sweet.
The bright nights.
Yes, how can I not bring Lord Chaitanya? Thank you for bringing Lord Chaitanya. Wow, Lord Chaitanya is definitely he's the brightest of all. His sun is probably brighter than Krishna's sun. Jai. Oh. Jai, Nitai Gauranga ki. Jai. Yes, they have risen simultaneously. Thank you. Thank you. Yes,
just a
Prabhu.
real quick comment. Tonight's a new moon, so if you're out in Alachua, there really isn't going to be light tonight.
Yes. I'm telling you, Alachua is such an amazing place as far as nature is concerned, and you can experience, like Radha Govinda Maharaj says, that you can experience Bhagavatam in nature. And I remember one time driving, driving home. I have a crazy side to me, so, and I never told Sesha Prabhu that. But anyway, I parked the car on the road, and I could see our house. I turned off all the lights because it was a dark moon. I turned off all the lights just to see how dark it is there. This is like a few years ago, not for the class or anything. And I was just shocked at how dark it was there. There was no car behind me or anything. So, anyway. So, but the only thing I could see in the house was the doorbell. The doorbell has a little light in there. So because of that doorbell, I could see that there was a house there, but otherwise I couldn't see anything. It was just like totally pitch dark. But now just recently, a couple of neighbors have put those lights in their backyard, like at nighttime. They have some light time, so it's not totally dark like that. But yeah, new moon. And another thing, and I'll finish here, and then new moon and full moon is such a difference. I never knew that because I was raised in cities mainly, but because in Alachua you really see nature. I think about the rasa dance. When when it's full moon and I see the whole like area, like 5 yards, 10 yards, whatever, 20, 50 yards around, and you have the full moon, it's lit up. It's lit up like, and you don't see any houses or anything. You see this vast piece of land. It's like somebody has turned on their tube light on, literally. It's so beautiful. And when it's, so you could see that how Krishna, who loves to have his pastimes, he's such an enjoyer. I mean, what a way to enjoy is in the full moon night, and it's so beautiful, and forest flowers and beautiful gardens, and he's having his rasa dance in the full moonlight. It's just beautiful. And the dark moon, then you can't see anything. Then there are all other pastimes when there's dark moon. But anyway, Jai, all glories to our Lord Shri Krishna and to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda and Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, and to all the devotees here assembled. Hare Krishna.